All right, lads. Welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? Before I get started, I just want to thank everybody who checked out the new podcast with my buddy Corey Brooks called Manxiety. Thanks. Cheers for that. We weren't expecting that kind of response on the first episode, but that was very nice of you. And if you're thinking, what is it? It's a podcast, another one I'm doing. Still haven't given up on the Almost Irish podcast. Still waiting on the other two lads to get back and figure some stuff out. That will return hopefully in the new year. But the one I have with Corey is it's serious / we try to make some humor in there, but it's about mental health. And it's necessary, I think. It's a necessary podcast. But whatever. Thank you so much for everyone for liking and listening to that episode on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts from. Just like this place, Cheaper Than Therapy. Wherever you get your podcast, that's where it is. Check it out on YouTube. I have 2 black eyes. Yes, I will. I won't even go into it. I'll just have you think. I walked into a door and fell down some stairs at the same time. The stairs had doors on them as I fell down them. So that's how I have 2 black eyes. Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. Hence the gay hat. I'm not saying the hat says gay. It's a Santa hat, but it's bedazzled. And it's the only one the dollar store had, which I think I had this on last Christmas's episode. And I was introduced back to the world of cunts again because the mask thing on New York especially, I don't know where you're listening to this, where you're consuming this episode from, let it be from New York or from any other place. I don't know what's going on in your hometown where you lovely, lovely thousands of people listen from. But there is a mask thing again going back in New York where they started it last Monday. You have to wear masks inside the business again. Well, New York City can fucking burn regardless. The city is a right mess. But it's already started. Here's the thing, it's starting and it's not starting, right? What I mean by that is the mask mandate has been official and everybody's kind of, following suit and that kind of stuff. But the businesses aren't really pushing it. And I like that. I think people are just so sick of it. And it's the way they're going to stand up to each other. And some of the people wear the masks and some people don't wear the mask. And I love it. I love it. But there are some people that are annoyed that you're not wearing a mask, right? And I think it's a sign of the end is here. The end of this shit about maybe standing up for things. And I don't want to get into too detail because the algorithm will pick up some of these words and just bury my episode, if not cancel it, because the social media and algorithm cannot be trusted because they're a bunch of cunts. But anyways, so it started. I went into the dollar, like Sunday night was the last night, I guess, and then this Monday, it went into effect that all businesses made sure you had to wear masks when you walked in. So I went into Dollar Tree with my daughter, and again, I'm not an anti rule guy, but I've always said the rules just have to make sense, right? And I think, I don't know what it's down to, but I walked into the dollar and I totally forgot my mask. It wasn't me being a renegade, right? It wasn't me rebelling against it. I just forgot the mask in my car and I had my daughter with me, so we ran in to get some stuff from the Dollar Tree. I wanted labels to put on Christmas presents. That's what I wanted. That's now that I remember it. It was just, I just needed, those labels to say to fucking John from Santa. Santa's dead in our house now, which is great. There's no more Santa. So I don't have to do, the bullshit, wait up all hours at night, wrapping presents on Christmas Eve, putting shit together and just fucking wanting to kick it, out the fucking window. Now I can just wrap them and just stick them under the tree as the week goes on, as we get closer to Christmas. So it's great. It's kind of, the magic is gone, but fuck it. I don't care. It's worth it now to know that I don't have to leave out cookies and eat them late at night. I forgot to eat the fucking cookies. I forgot to put away the elf because the elf goes back with the fucking Santa and all that shit. Put the carrots out in the lawn and then there was weirdo parents, which I don't know if you do it, you're weird. But why do you do the footprints in the house? Right? Your house would have to have snow in it for those, you know what I mean? They put the powder down and then they put a footprint in the powder. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? You would have to have snow all over your house for those footprints to work. So it just doesn't make sense. But I get it. Your kids fucking fall for it. Maybe you want to talk to your kids about, maybe get them looked at for their intelligence level. I don't know. Just a thought. So yeah, Santa doesn't exist in our house anymore. But anyway, I wanted to go in, and I said I'll get the labels for the presents, and and as I walked in, busy time of the year, and pretty much everybody had masks on. There was a few people that didn't. They just walked around, and I think the people who weren't wearing masks now, they don't walk around with arrogance, right? They don't walk around and go, I don't have a mask, right? And they see another maskless person, and they go, all right, we get it. There's none of that going on. It's just people going in. So I walk in, and and this woman goes, the mandate started this morning, today, for the masks. And I went, thank you very much. Thanks for reminding me of that. Appreciate that. And then she goes, you gotta wear a mask. And I go, it's fine. Thank you. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas anyway to you. And then she goes, you could catch COVID and endanger us. That's exactly what she said. I'm with my daughter, and I want to set an example of not arguing and that kind of stuff, and how to argue. And if you do have a discussion with somebody, how do you do it respectfully to kind of come across as the bigger person? Also, just not to be an asshole, and I don't want this in front of my daughter. So, and all I said was, she said, you could catch COVID and give it to other people, and all I said was, but yesterday I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she didn't like that. Like, she didn't like the when you try talk logic to somebody and they don't know how to go, that's a good point, or accept it. You watch the brain malfunction. It's like you pour water on an 80s robot in a cartoon. Good saucer, fly, mouth, I don't know what to say. And that's what they do. And that's all I said. Well, so I couldn't have caught it yesterday, but today I could, right? Because some other governor now of New York, that fucking idiot, she said it. So she turned the calendar page, and that's the day we're in trouble. But whatever. So anyway, and that's all I said. And she did the malfunction, and I walked out. No harm, no foul. And then I was at Governor's Comedy Club the other night, so I had to go to Target, and I walked into Target. Now, I thought Target would have had somebody at the door, security guard or whatever, kind of, giving you the what for, how you wear a mask. Now, if I'm asked to wear a mask, that rhymes, right? If I'm asked to wear a mask. If I'm asked to wear a mask by an employee, I would put my mask on. I got it in my pocket. I will put my mask on, and here's why. Because it's not the employee's fault, right? They're on fuck all an hour. They're getting it from the top. The top is yelling down to them, because the kick is always harder at the bottom, as they say. Shit rolls downhill. And I just didn't want to... so I would never argue and go, you know what? Not a problem. Lob the mask on, if you ask me. So it's not their fault, and I never want to argue with them. So don't go out there and, fucking argue like, oh, well, according to Joe Rogan... and big fan of Joe Rogan's podcast, and I get a lot of information from there. But you can't quote Joe Rogan to everybody else, because if it's out of context, and chances are we don't remember all the facts, right? So let's stop quoting Rogan, because he got the facts. We don't walk into then 2 days later into a fucking Stop and Shop and then unload this to a cashier and you get the facts all wrong. So let's not do that, right? Let's not quote Rogan. But I don't argue with these people. They're poor people that are fucking, when I say, I don't mean poor, but it's not their fault, right? So why argue with them? So I know they're getting screamed at already. They're getting screamed at by these fucking people who, whatever, my freedom, my rights, they don't care. They're on $8 an hour. Shut the fuck up and just go get your shit and get out of the store. You're not there all day. Get your shit, shut the fuck up and get out. That's it. Don't argue with those people. But my intent is I walk into these buildings and I don't put my mask on. I deliberately do not put my mask on, because I'm at the stage now where I know they don't work. Sorry, they don't. I know they're pointless. Sorry, it is. The new facts have come out. That whole Peter McCullough podcast that was on Joe Rogan has turned the world upside down. But I don't go out and just talk, I don't quote the fucking podcast. I go, you should check it out. It's interesting. That's all I say. So I'm not going to go in, I'm not going to argue with anybody, but I walk in maskless. And if someone who works there says something, I'll put it on. The end. But if you don't say something, I'm not putting it on. So I'm walking down an aisle, and this guy walks up, normal guy, and he's just walking by, and and I guess I was the first person he encountered that wasn't wearing a mask, because there was a bunch of them in there that weren't wearing masks, right? And he walks by, we do one of those things, we walk by, And he goes, he just says out loud, not to my face, but about me as he's walking by. He goes, "Oh, I'm a real fucking rebel." Now, a part of me, right, the old Mick Thomas, the new Mick Thomas is trying to find peace and tranquility within his soul. I was an angry person for a long time, and I kind of want to just be able to learn to put that to peace and put to bed and realize arguing with people and getting upset about people is not good for my mental health. So I just fucking let it go, and I'm at peace. Now, the old Mick Thomas probably went, bah, right, and because he knows what to fucking say to fucking freak this guy out. I'm a fucking sheep. I'm a sheep. That's what I would have got. But I didn't. I just kept walking and just smiled to myself. And I just get it, man. When you start to stop and think of these people, like, it's not about the mask, is it, sir? It's not about the mask. You just may have, because you're miserable in your life. And when you see somebody else do something that you don't do or believe in, like, you may as well have walked by and just went, "I hate my life." That's what I heard. I hate my life. Or walk by me. "My job sucks." That's what I heard. "My fucking wife's a cunt." That's what I heard. That's what I heard. You walk right by me. I smiled and nodded. "My kids are ungrateful." That's it. "My parents never loved me." These are what I'm hearing from these people. That's what I hear. You hear mask. I hear this is what I'm hearing. But I think we will all, this is how we beat this now, right? I think that I'm not saying stand up and fucking revolt, but here's what we do. If you want, and it's what I'm seeing, and I love it. If you want to wear a mask, you feel safer. It's a comfort thing. Like wearing a helmet on a motorcycle, right? Some people feel safer with it. You go to Connecticut, you don't have to. That's all I'm saying. Bad example because the helmet is definitely going to work. But if you don't want to wear it, then that's fine. Don't wear it. But let's not divide each other. Let's not be each other. Let's not attack each other. Let's not make each other the enemy. The enemy is the ones that are making us. And I think this is what I'm starting to see now. I'm starting to see people not argue. It reminded me of when I was in South Carolina with the lads, the Almost Irish podcast, hopefully coming back in January fucking 2022. When I walked through like the equivalent of a 7-Eleven in the peak of all the mask shit up here in New York, it was like, so you wore it or you didn't wear it. That was up to you. And it was nice. And I think that's how we find peace, and that's how we beat it. Right? To just prove that it's nothing to do with fucking these people and their facts and figures, because we know are lied and manipulated. And again, I'm probably going to get taken down. This episode might not even fucking air. You might not find it you won't find it by accident anymore, because the algorithm is going to bury this episode. But the facts and figures are manipulated, like it or not. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, because I'm not, but it's a fact now that's been proven that they're lying about numbers. So let's just I think that's what's going to do, right? So I had to wear you wear a mask. You asked me to do it, I put it on. I went to the movies the other day on Saturday morning. It's Monday morning now. I went Saturday morning, right? Went to see SpiderMan. My son and my wife went. And don't worry, I'm not going to spoil. Don't worry, don't sign off. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. I'm not going to spoil it. Although you do find out that Tony Stark went to Epstein Island. Yeah, that was a weird twist in it. You find out that Tony goes to Epstein Island. He don't talk about what he does there, but he does. He did fuck underage girls at Epstein Island. That was bad. There's not a good look for Tony Stark, for the old Iron Man there. But you do find that out. But anyway, so I'm there, and that little girl behind the counter goes, "Sir, could you wear your mask, please?" I go, "Of course I will, sweetheart. Of course I will." Put the mask on, walk in, sit down, eat me bucket of popcorn. Mask is off, of course. Then. And that's it. It's no harm, no foul. But yeah, the Spider-Man thing is funny with the spoilers. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, I promise. So you don't sign off. There's accounts now being taken down on YouTube. Not YouTube anymore. I see them up on YouTube, but Instagram were taking them down if you spoiled the movie. I thought, what the fuck are you talking about? We're not Snowden leaking all these high intelligent files. It's a fucking... We should be allowed to fucking talk about the movie if we want to talk about it. Who gives a shit who turns up in it or who doesn't? Again, I'm not going to spoil it. Who the fuck are you to get my account taken down? Oh, bro, spoil... Then don't follow him then. What are you talking about? Take my account down because I said fucking... I don't know, fucking Kristen Dunst comes into it. She doesn't come into it, by the way. Kristen Dunst comes into it. And someone hoses her down because that's all they remember from her, the movie. Look, hey, you're a shit Mary Jane. We liked you when you got your t-shirt wet. That was it. Throw a bucket of water on her and tell her to fuck off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? It's stop. That's too much control where you can delete somebody's account because they spoiled SpiderMan on you. How does that make sense? Right? If you haven't seen it within the first week, then you're not really a fucking Spider-Man. In the first few days, you're not a Spider-Man fan. And that's it. When's the line? When does it stop? When do you come up to somebody and say, oh, by the way, Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father? What the delete the account? That's the chicken, the fucking chicken, the crying game. It's really a dude. Delete his accounts. It's the head in the box. 7. Get rid of it. Jax Teller kills himself. The end of Sons of Anarchy. Shut it down. No, fuck off. It's a fucking movie. Who gives a shit? You don't have that kind of control. You shouldn't have that kind of control to delete people's accounts because they fucking ruin a superhero, a comic book movie for you. You fucking cretin. Just enjoy the Christmas. I've been watching the Christmas movies, which I do every year. I've been really enjoying them. It's the time of year I like eating a lot of shit and dirt, which I'm doing. A lot of chocolate, a lot of cookies. And I'm watching Christmas. Well, I'm trying to watch Christmas. I'm trying to get the kids and the family out every night to sit down and watch at least one Christmas movie, right? And you put on a movie and then they run off into a room and my son just fucking draws his heart away, and then my daughter is on computer. I don't know if she's fucking meeting someone from Catch a Predator. She's online that much, you know. And they won't sit still because it's very hard to get them to watch the Christmas movie. Because you know what? I was watching what movies? Oh, but I ended up kind of sitting there, just my wife, and she's like, "But let's watch White Christmas." I'd never seen it before. Bing Crosby. I'm gonna tell you right now, for those of you who are older, or for those of you who like vintage movies, White Christmas is not a Christmas movie. I'm saying it now. I don't give a shit. It's not like, you know, they have the Die Hard debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Don't give a fuck if it is or not, right? I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but White Christmas is not a Christmas movie. You're out of your fucking mind. There's no Christmas comes in the last 5 minutes. That's it. No Christmas. Nothing. No hats, no decorations, no trees, no mention of it, no Christmas carols. At the start of it, I think they do when they're in war in with the terrible set. No, it's not a Christmas movie. The whole movie is fucking Bing Crosby and this other guy, I can't remember his name, trying to fuck George Clooney's grandmother and some other bird with a teeny tiny waist. I don't know, I've never seen a waist that thin before in my life. I don't know how tight her fucking belts are. And it's just, they're sisters. And that's it. It's Bing Crosby and this other dude trying to fuck Clooney's grandma and her tight waist friend, or sister. And that's what the whole movie is. Then they go to Vermont and they try help keep a place in business. And at the last 5 minutes, they go, oh look, it's a Christmas tree. Is it? Yeah. Christmas tree out there, snowing. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to love. And that, you know, you've heard the song. And that's it. That's the movie. Not a Christmas movie. Stop calling it a Christmas movie. Ridiculous. Absolutely terrible. You know what other one, which is an unpopular opinion, what I say? I watched, one of my favorite Christmas movies is Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase. Here's what I noticed this year. The people who live across the street, the one from Juliet Dreyfus, is that her name? From fucking Seinfeld. Never watched an episode of Seinfeld, by the way. People hate them in it. Like, I'm actually on their side. Like, there's nothing wrong with that couple. Nothing wrong with that couple. They do nothing wrong. They mind their fucking business. They come in and out, and fucking Chevy Chase he invites his fucking family over, and they're just a fucking menace. And I'm watching these people like, what? Why? Just because they don't celebrate Christmas like you, they're bad people? I'm actually wondering, how misunderstood are those people? Right? I just think Chevy Chase is like, they don't have any kids, right? That means they have all this disposable income. They're not worried about the Christmas bonus, right? Because if they want a pool, they just get a fucking pool because I don't have fucking 2 kids. I don't have all these family members coming in wrecking my shit. Nothing wrong with them. They live a different lifestyle, and all of a sudden we watch it in the public like they're bad people. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Love it. Love that movie. Big fan of the neighbours across the street. Big fan of the neighbours across the street. That's all I'm saying. Christmas Carol, my favourite one. That's what I noticed too, is like that. Scrooge is not an evil part. Like, he's a grumpy Long Islander. Let's be honest. Isn't that all Scrooge is? He doesn't like people singing outside his door. He doesn't like people begging for money. Who else is like that? Would you like to have people singing? You're working outside, and all of a sudden, there's people. Think about it. You're in your office right now, and outside all day long is fucking people singing. We wish you, and that goes on and on and on. People coming in and out your door all day long, begging for money off you. How many times have you walked by people on the street asking for money? Let's be honest. You consider yourself a good person, but how many times have you walked past people either collecting for the poor or being poor themselves? You just keep you fake phone call it. You hold up. What? Yeah. Oh, what? And then what happened? And you just waddle off. Scrooge ain't a bad guy. He's just a grumpy fuck. And we have to send ghosts to clean him up. We got to send him ghosts just so he's not like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what he does to Bob Cratchit. Well, then Bob can quit and get another job. We can always do that. We can always quit and get another job. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And Christmas Carol is my favorite book. It's my favorite story. The Muppets Christmas Carol is my favorite version of that. But when you look at it like now, just watch Scrooge. He's not evil. He's just grumpy. And we fucking hate him. And we have to intervene with spirits and ghosts and the Lord. Anyway, listen. That's been my episode. Thanks so much for listening, liking, subscribing. Do check out the Manxiety podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. I appreciate it. And listen, before I go, it's not the last podcast of the year, is it? I don't know. But this is the last podcast before Christmas or the holidays, whatever you're celebrating. But I think all the holidays are gone now, right? I think all that's left is Christmas. So whatever you're doing with your family, listen, I hope you have a happy, healthy Christmas. I hope it's great. I hope you eat lots of food. Spend a lot of time with your family. Watch Christmas movies with a new set of eyes. And as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Merry Christmas.